Hey, bonjour, bonsoir à tous et à toutes. J'espère que vous allez bien aujourd'hui ou ce soir. Ici GeekYoshii de retour pour un nouvel épisode sur la nouvelle zone, la nouvelle contrée, le nouveau paysage, tous les synonymes qui vont avec, de Fontaine. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est un petit retour sur la nouvelle histoire de Fontaine, évidemment. Donc là, pour le coup, on s'était laissé sur l'introduction du duo Lenny et Lynette, ainsi que l'introduction de l'archon Hydro, Forana, je pense. J'ai vraiment une mauvaise mémoire, en fait. Ainsi que certains autres nouveaux personnages qui ont été introduits au cours de cette aventure. On a aussi revu Charlotte, évidemment. Et tout ce beau petit paysage, mesdames et messieurs, n'attend plus que nous pour être exploré en toute tranquillité. Bon, évidemment, ce ne sera pas de l'exploration énorme non plus, ça va vraiment être juste le mode histoire pour le moment. L'exploration viendra un peu plus tard au courant des épisodes. Sur ce, pour le moment, allons retrouver Lenny à destination. Alors du coup, pour le moment, peut-être faire un petit tour rapide, juste voir si je pourrais pas trouver d'autres hydroculus en fait. Ah oui, effectivement, j'en vois un là-bas là. Et tu vas venir avec moi toi. T'inquiète, je viens de chercher. Oh là 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 là. Et voilà. On en a un autre. Mais là, je m'attends à ce qu'il y ait des hydroculus vraiment partout sur les toits de la ville, en fait. Ah, il y a la petite musique en plus. Non, franchement, ils savent comment faire les petites introductions et tout, les nouvelles zones. On va juste aller juste un peu plus loin, éviter de se faire de tomber dans le vide. Comme un abruti. Bon, nouveau place, partie de l'histoire.
Ah, Fremine, you're home. Where did everyone else go? I have some new friends that I would like to introduce.
Ah, c'est le troisième frère.
Just went out a moment ago.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. I suppose that can't be helped.
Ah, ouais, ok, ils sont bel et bien tous les trois des frères et sœurs.
Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. Oh, you sound very proud to have a diver as a brother, Lenny.
Vous avez une grande famille, votre famille regorge de talent.
Lenny, could you come here for a moment?
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me?
Allez-y, ça ne nous dérange pas. Bah, pas le moindre du monde. C'est quoi son... C'est cryo? Ouais, c'est glace.
Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. We were just discussing a little housework. Sorry for the interruption. Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets. Were you able to get any, Fremine?
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials. I was about to give them to you.
That's our Fremine, always quick with the underwater work. All right, I'll take these to the workshop.
Oh. Comment ça peut le voir? Ah, ça c'est la France que je connais. Je rigole. Je rigole.
Looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago? Fontaine's weather sure is weird.
I'm afraid that's just how it is here.
Bon, à part en
It
Bretagne.
often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but don't worry, it'll clear up soon enough.
What's wrong, Fremine?
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
Ouais, je crois pas que ça va marcher, mon cher. J'ai des gros doutes que ça fonctionne. Ce dragon hydro est sans doute le dragon alimentaire de Fontaine, j'imagine. Encore un dragon alimentaire de Teyvat. Ah.
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be very unusual.
J'avoue que là, on commence de plus en plus à voir les différents dragons, en fait.
Hydro dragon, don't cry!
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
Sorry, it might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps it can't be comforted by the words of strangers.
Ouais, ok, Lenny, littéralement, le mot subtilité n'existe pas dans son vocabulaire.
It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already getting late.
Was there something you needed to do, Lenny?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. I need to find a way to catch the last aqua bus of the day. On the day of the performance, just ride the aqua bus to the island of Erinius. I'll have Lynette meet you at the fountain in front of the Opera House.
Ok, ça se prononce Erinius. Ok, c'est bon. C'est compris, allez-y, on vous retrouvera plus tard. On se reverra le jour du spectacle.
Oh, are you leaving now?
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I get it. You feel nervous delivering the materials for the magic pockets, is that it? Perhaps we could trouble the traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont workshop and deliver them to the owner there? I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted, and the boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Fremine has always been a little afraid of her.
No trouble at all! Don't worry, we're on the case!
Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm quite useless when it comes to such tasks. I'll think of a way to make it up to you.
Oh, no need. This will be a walk in the park for us.
Oh.
Thanks again, you two. I really can't deal with that lady.
Bon, bah, direction la patronne. Qui se trouve juste de l'autre côté. Bon, et vous savez quoi? Vu qu'on a les moyens de téléportation, on va en profiter pour les utiliser, évidemment. On va essayer de pas mourir non plus.
Hello? Is there anyone here?
Oh, hello there. New customers?
Estelle.
Looking to buy, or do you need something made? Or perhaps you're just looking for a chat with me.
Oh no, we're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are. They're for making... what were they called again?
Ah, these must be for Magic Pockets. I could tell right away. I've already made several orders worth now.
On vous doit combien?
No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. When they told me what they'd be using them for, I even offered them a discount. But they insisted on paying the full amount, saying that I had a business to run. It seems both their hearts and their pockets are made of gold.
Whoa. So, is Lenny actually loaded?
I can't say for sure, but who knows? Maybe there's good money to be made being a magician in Fontaine.
Hey! Is this machine what you use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology. And wasting is a kind of crime.
But where does a big machine like that get its power from?
Yeah, mais quand la machine ne sera plus d'aucune utilité, tu vas faire quoi maintenant? Hein? Hein? Vas-y, réponds. Hein?
Well, it's a little complicated. I'm not sure I can put it in layman's terms for you. But basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
Huh?
Pardon?
How can trials produce energy?
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the details myself, but basically, when a trial is in session, the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale harvests people's belief in
mon Dieu
justice
Seigneur.
and converts it into energy to be used all around Fontaine.
L'oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale. Ouais, elle a l'accent un peu, là.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the oratrice was created by the Archon to make judgments. But Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs be turned into a stable power source for these machines?
Excusez-moi, mais là, c'est... Pour moi, ça m'a fait penser directement à elle.
Oh mon Dieu, les gens qui parlent en français, ils ont tellement de charisme.
Incroyable. Un classique. Venti et Naïda ont dit que le pouvoir des divinités dépend de la croyance de leurs fidèles. Ok.
Oh yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take the energy created by belief and turn it into power for all of Fontaine, right?
Donc avec les procès, elle absorbe l'énergie des procès pour en faire une énergie. C'est un peu con. C'est un peu con comme procédure, mais je veux dire, si ça fonctionne, ok, fine, mais...
Even though I've
Bref.
never heard anyone really put it that way before, it sounds like it makes sense. Besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called pneumosia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature. Even now, it still cannot be widely used by civilians.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but
Oh
here
non.
you are chatting the day away.
Attention, il s'appelle
Since
Truand.
you're already talking, I'm sure you wouldn't mind a few words with me.
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Confrérie of Cabriere by next month? Why are you hounding me now?
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait, no, 70%.
Huh? You...
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the materials. Maybe now's a good time to leave?
Pardon? C'est vrai, c'est la routine de commerçant. Et vous êtes des tarés? Vous allez la laisser comme ça? On va pas partir. Oh non.
Hey, hold on. Before
Oh.
you go around trying to collect payments, why
Oh,
don't you
no.
settle your own debts first?
Oh non, il est là.
If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to
The
poach
boy.
clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first,
The
before
boy.
you get back to your little conversation here?
Incroyable. Ah, il était là aussi le week-end dernier à l'Otakuton, hein. Il était là aussi. C'est incroyable.
Ah, you're from Northland Bank. But we said we'll pay everything we owe next month. Why are you hounding me now?
Ah tiens donc, eux autres aussi sont en dette.
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
We're surprised to see you too. What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Eh ben on a encore du monde aujourd'hui. Fontaine est un gros endroit.
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now, and honestly, things have been pretty boring. But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble. Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
Ah, tu sais, mon
I'm
cher.
sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far. Right, Traveler?
Je suis toujours partant pour une petite aventure.
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy. Aren't you forgetting something?
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there for a while?
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs while you catch up with your friends? Listen to me, boy. If you want Chamora, fine.
Boy.
Why don't you come and take it?
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said...
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys, let's see who has to pay
Bon,
up now!
et voilà.
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients.
Mais...
You're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
Ça marche.
I'm unsure this won't take long.
Attends, on va incarner Tartaglia pour les... Bon, allez, let's go.
No time to lose. Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt. Who's next?
Hey. Ouais, bah voilà. Hein.
What's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a staffer from Snezhnaya's Northland Bank? Wait, don't tell me you're...
Oui, mon cher.
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess with Northland Bank. Got it? Huh?
Hein?
Now's my chance!
Sérieusement?
Huh. That was weird.
Ok. Tout va bien?
I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers when I needed them. Maybe there's something wrong with my vision?
L'arcane hydro, peut-être?
Strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's ever heard of someone losing control of their vision.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides, I always have my delusion in case I need it.
Tu devrais éviter de l'utiliser trop souvent.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? And don't say it's work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that? Wait, since when do you feel down about anything?
I don't know. Maybe I still have a lot to learn about myself. But recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside of me. And I don't know why, but every now and then I feel like I'm in a terrible mood.
Maybe you losing control of your vision just now is connected with that power you're feeling inside.
That is a possibility.
Ce pouvoir, tu sais d'où il vient?
I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into some unknown abyss. It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk. She was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through, and she was always very strict when teaching me combat techniques.
Okay.
One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. From what I could make of her answer, it was because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my combat training would be useful in the future.
But what is it? What did you awaken?
She never explained that, but my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had just fallen into that abyss. In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea. and the boundless seabed was all around me. But in front of me appeared a whale that was so massive, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us. Is that the one?
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. Seems a little twisted to Paimon.
C'est possible que le pouvoir en toi soit en lien avec ta chute dans l'abîme.
So why don't you just go ask your master? Maybe she knows the answer.
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk and that unknown abyss. But it's been years now, and I've still found nothing. There isn't even a trace of the place where I remember falling into the abyss.
Oh, it sounds like some kind of ghost story.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing more I can do. It seems that strange encounters in this world tend to be elusive like that. Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you. I just remembered I have somewhere else I need to be, so I should get going.
What? More work for the Northland Bank?
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists whenever I'm feeling bored.
Of course.
Official champion duelists? You mean it's their job to duel?
Yep. In Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official champion duelist. The champion duelists are all powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. And the duel itself is a no-holds-barred fight with no specified stopping point. So engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. If a criminal manages to win the duel, they'll be acquitted. But if they lose, they'll have no choice but to stand trial. And the worst-case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel. Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty, from what I can tell, no one has ever been officially sentenced to death. So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their honor. Otherwise, why gamble with your life?
So, do many people actually get out of their trials by winning the duel?
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to show that the nation respects the honor of its citizens. Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with, which is exactly why I was itching to face them as soon as I got to Fontaine. Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, Clorinde, is the strongest of the champion duelists.
Chlorine.
I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed to face me today.
C'est la bras droit de l'Arcane, en fait. Ouais, c'est ça.
Paimon feels like we heard that name somewhere before. Clorinde.
Quand on a rencontré l'Arcane Hydro, je suis nul pour me souvenir des prénoms.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Ah?
Huh? Your vision? You're seriously just giving it away?
What the hell?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel, so I think I'll be better off without it for now.
Okay.
Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short while. I'll come retrieve it when I have some time later.
Un peu bizarre.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
Huh.
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be in touch later.
Cute.
That sneaky guy. He said he's been feeling down lately, but he seemed the same as ever to Paimon. Well, since we don't have much to do for now, we might as well walk around and see the city before Lenny's performance.
Oh. Vous vous promenez dans la cour de Fontaine avec Paimon, votre guide enthousiaste.
Wow! Who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was
Ah, j'y pense, on n'a pas encore vu...
was the murderer all along.
On n'a pas encore vu la Catherine de cette région, hein?
twist coming. The murder mystery novels here are amazing.
Oh la vache. Je n'aurais surtout jamais cru te voir apprécier un livre. On devrait aller autre part, non?
The whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light novels you see from Yai Publishing House. Both have their merits, but Paimon thinks this style of novels are more, well, novel. It's so exciting to reach the moment when the mystery is uncovered, especially in the one Paimon was just reading. You should buy a copy and read it too.
Aucun intérêt, je sais déjà qui est le meurtrier. Ça ira, merci.
Oh, sorry about that. Paimon will be more careful next time. Hey, shouldn't we be heading to the Opera House to see Linny's performance soon? It's almost time for the show to start, so we should get going. Linny said that the Opera House is on Aranias, so let's go ride the Aquabus.
Propriétaire du kiosque. Là, pour le coup, je vais essayer de voir si je peux trouver la Catherine de cette région. Ah, elle est juste là. Ah, there you go.
Ad Astra.
Ok, on l'a retrouvé. Waouh. Je suis quand même pas loin des 2 derniers niveaux. Hein. Ça prend un peu de temps, mais je vais finir par y arriver. Je vais finir par y arriver un de ces jours. Ouh. Merci beaucoup. Bon. Bah là pour le coup. On va aller directement. « 4 mètres en haut. » Hein? On va appeler l'ascenseur, hein? Ça nous demande de prendre l'ascenseur, je suppose. Mais franchement, il y a certains trucs qui sont plus... Attendre la cubuche. Bref. Il y a des trucs qui sont plutôt pas mal en vrai. Elfan. Bonjour. Quand est-ce que... C'est-à-dire que... Au revoir. Quand est-ce que... Tout de suite. On va avoir une petite exploration, une petite aperçu de tout ce qui est... de tout ce qui est autour. Ah, ok, d'accord.
The boat will be departing imminently. Please do not stick your head, hands, or other body parts outside the boat. The Aquabus operator is not responsible for any accidents or injuries resulting from doing so.
Ah ouais, ok, d'accord.
Also, please remember to buy the Steambird, though I don't read it myself.
Tu es quoi exactement, toi? Tu
The
es...
destination of the current tour is Aranias. Points of interest worth visiting include the Fountain of Lucine and the Opera Epiclès.
Tu es vivante? Tu es un robot ou quelque chose? J'ai un peu l'impression que c'est un robot en fait. Wow. Ah ouais. Hey, vous imaginez toute l'exploration qu'on va pouvoir faire après ça? Ça va être incroyable. Et là, ouais, non, c'est ça, c'est tout ce qui va être à explorer dans cette zone, dans ce jeu, en fait.
We are now approaching our final destination. Please be sure to bring all your personal belongings with you as you disembark. Even though I will take any forgotten items to Lost and Found, the paperwork is rather annoying, as Melusine hands are not suitable for grasping pens. Please be careful when disembarking. It has been my honor to be your tour guide this trip. Thank you.
Ce sont des mélucines. Bah, merci beaucoup. Bienvenue à Fontaine. Merci pour la balade. Rendez-vous à la place de la Fontaine devant l'opéra. Là, on a vraiment la sensation de se déplacer dans une civilisation beaucoup plus avancée de niveau de technologie. Et ça, ça fait un peu bizarre, en fait, dans l'univers de Genshin. Oh, 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 ouais. Hey, attends, mais toi, je te connais, toi. Toi, t'es quoi? C'est quoi? Mais c'est stylé. Ouais, c'est plutôt cool. Waouh. Ah.
Boats are made for transit.
Ah. Et là, du coup, les fontaines, l'effet des littéralement, l'effet des fontaines est vraiment incroyable. Bon, je vais essayer de le moins possible dévier de la trajectoire principale, mais de quand même rester énormément actif sur ce qui se trouve autour. Station Marcotte. Oh, il y a des signes. Il y a tout un tas de trucs en vrai. Merci beaucoup. Donc non, c'est ça, c'est vraiment le fait d'être dans une civilisation technologiquement beaucoup plus avancée que la majorité des autres zones du jeu. Genre, exemple Mondstadt ou encore... bah quoique, il y a Sumeru, sauf que dans un sens, Sumeru vit beaucoup plus en ce qui concerne dans la jungle en fait. Même si oui, ça fait aucun sens là ce que je dis. Mais là où en fait Sumeru se concentre plus sur garder le côté culturel, mais tout en ayant un intellect énormément développé, une sagesse beaucoup plus prononcée à ce moment-là. Là où Fontaine se base beaucoup plus sur l'intellect de la technologie et de l'avancement créatif. Wow. Danse tourbillonnante d'Erinies. All right.
Now this is fancy! The opera at Eclairs. What a place to hold a performance! No wonder Linny and Lynette were looking forward to it. Huh. Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the fountain up ahead.
Très éloigné de la cité principale.
Please bless us with a bright and healthy child. We pray.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful life.
I guess if they're our kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine. There sure are a lot of couples here.
Moi, j'en ai aucune idée. Hein, moi. Pardon? Qui a osé m'envoyer promener? Qui m'a dit d'aller me faire voir? Non, c'est une blague.
What's wrong?
Hein? Vacher. C'est qui ça, Vacher?
Vacher.
Oula, doucement. Tu viens de parler, Paimon?
No, Paimon didn't say anything. Are you hearing things?
Bizarre. Qui c'était alors?
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary for newlyweds to come here and wish for children.
Lynette! You scared Paimon!
Elle est sérieuse?
When did you get here?
Sérieusement, Paimon?
Lenny asked me to wait here for you, remember?
Right.
D'ailleurs, Lynette, j'ai cru entendre une petite voix à l'instant.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here right now.
C'est comme si la voix venait de la fontaine. Oh! C'est le peuple océanide.
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you?
C'est un membre des Océanides.
I might be able to tell you something that could help explain the voice you heard. In fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result of your hypersensitivity to the hydro element. Others in my family have had similar experiences.
It's because of his sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would hearing a voice have to do with elemental power?
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
Just answer me. When do you cry?
Ben, quand je suis triste.
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Oh, and also when Paimon's really, really scared.
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions. Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. Even the tears that fall to the ground will eventually gather here. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
C'est intéressant comme explication. Je ne sais pas si j'y crois vraiment.
So, what did the voice say?
Je crois qu'elle appelait quelqu'un.
If you were hearing their emotions...
Elle appelait quelqu'un qui s'appelait Vachier. Vachier!
Rather than worrying about them, we should worry about my brother first.
Excusez-moi.
Don't let
Pardonnez-moi.
that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous just before a performance. So chatting with Linny might help him relax a little before he goes on stage.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Let's go in and see Linny.
Ah. Offrande de la fontaine. Offrez les seaux hydro. Ah. Donc là, du coup, ça fonctionne exactement comme l'arbre à Sumeru. Interesting. Exactement, c'est exactement ça en fait. Vous pouvez lancer les sauts hydro que vous obtenez à travers Fontaine dans la fontaine de Lucine, à l'extérieur de l'opéra Epiclès, pour augmenter son niveau et obtenir de précieuses récompenses. Ah, c'est exactement ça en fait. Ah, pour le moment, j'en ai pas, parce que je n'ai ouvert aucun coffre dans Fontaine. Donc on va se calmer et on va attendre. Panneau d'affichage. AF. Je ne connais pas ce Pokémon.
Ah, Traveler and Paimon. Good to see you.
Oula,
I knew
l'orgue.
you two would come.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been looking forward to it.
I can tell, judging by how early you've arrived. But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now is the perfect chance for us to take you to the best seats in the house. Wait just a moment. I'll fetch the tickets.
Oh, sweet.
The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are your tickets.
Ooh, front row seats. Thanks, Linny.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Linny, could you come over here and take a look at this?
Hey, Lenny, est-ce que tu
I'll
pourrais
be
venir
right there.
voir?
Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant, calling me. I'll go lend him a hand.
Tu veux venir boire un coup, Lenny? Allez-y.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. You go
Bordel
ahead,
de
Linny.
merde. Là, je suis un peu dans la curiosité en fait, parce que je serais tenté de faire monter Lenny un peu plus. Oula, pourquoi il y a un arc comme ça lui? Les PV sont augmentés de 16%. Si les ennemis sont proches, les dégâts infligés par le personnage équipé de l'arme augmentent de 20%, qu'il soit déployé ou non. Une arme alternative pour Lenny si je n'ai pas son arc. Bah écoutez, je vais lui donner l'arc de Yelan au pire. Juste au cas où. Ok. Rendez-vous au siège préparé par Lenny. Je dois aller en haut. C'est en bas en fait. Ouh. Mais c'est magnifique. Ah ouais. Ah c'est ici en fait. C'est ici qu'il y a le truc de jugement et tout là. Ah. La balance et tout. La justice. Ça va être bien. Ça va être très bien même. Ah, il y a déjà quelqu'un. Il y a déjà quelqu'un assis à côté. Je pense que c'est une Neuvillette. Ouais, effectivement, c'est bel et bien lui. Je suis un peu inconfortable.
Hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still. It's kinda awkward if we don't say anything.
À toi l'honneur, Paimon. C'est ton travail d'habitude.
Of course you put this on Paimon.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward.
Ooh,
I am terribly sorry.
Sa voix
I
est
would
plutôt...
be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Sa voix est plutôt charismatique.
So you heard all of that, did ya?
J'aimerais savoir c'est qui.
Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down. Wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who's
il a la
being
classe
rude,
en vrai.
talking under her breath like that. So let's talk. But what should we talk about?
La situation devient de plus en plus gênante.
Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Son œil, c'est littéralement du Canria. Du coup, il a aucun vision en fait. Oh, ça c'est intéressant par contre.
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny then? Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself.
Sa voix me dit quelque chose.
I am...
Oh, Monsieur Neuvillette. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Neuvillette? Could he be...
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Neuvillette is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Attendez. Le juge, le Iudex, le juge suprême de Fontaine. Ah ouais. Bah évidemment, le mec qui vient de Canria, évidemment qu'il a une place hyper bien placée.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, There's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now.
Oh boy.
I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Ah, il s'agit de Guile de Street Fighter 6. Intéressant, ok.
Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro
Ah,
Archon.
Farina, merci. Voilà.
She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Une sacrée voix quand même, hein?
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
Le fait qu'il n'y ait pas de musique en background, ça me met un peu mal à l'aise en fait.
Oh! They're dimming the lights! The show must be starting! Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny.
Installez-vous confortablement, mesdames et messieurs.
Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
C'est parti pour un spectacle de magie, mesdames et messieurs.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. Huh? But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Ah bah bravo, bravissimo.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't see him do anything! Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear out of nowhere?
Incroyable.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
Thank you everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow! How's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
Il n'y a qu'à attendre. Je suis sûr que j'arriverai à percer son secret.
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh, okay.
Pas du tout confiant, hein.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to
Mon Dieu, j'ai vraiment l'impression qu'on entend que elle dans la salle, c'est incroyable. Nice est sans doute préparé, ce serait impossible d'aller au plus vite avec tous les gens qui comptent.
No, no, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59, 58.
60, 59, 58!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
54, 53, 52? Huh? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
Oh, all right. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something.
40, 39, 38!
Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine, I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, mid-air right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all.
Ça fait partie du spectacle. Peut-être qu'il a confiance en ses talents de magicien.
What was that noise? Did you hear it too?
Ça venait de la scène. Si ça se trouve, c'est pour dévier notre attention.
Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
25, 24, 23!
What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
Ça fait partie du show, mec.
That's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Here.
19, 18, 17!
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
Oh, nouvelle cinématique.
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait, is this the back one? I can't tell, they both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Ta-da!
Oh. Wait, what?
What happened?
Oh no.
Huh? Is this part of the show?
Oh no.
Mr. Linney, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of justice.
Ok, la manière de comment elle parle, littéralement, elle sait pas du tout ce qu'elle fait.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
Les gendarmes terminent leurs enquêtes après un certain temps.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead.
Oh.
His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance. And there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of
C'est vrai, les nombreuses femmes disparues, en fait.
The serial disappearances case?
C'est vrai.
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
Dire que le criminel a réussi son coup en plein milieu d'un spectacle bondé.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Sérieux?
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
Oh, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
Elle a vraiment perdu la tête, en fait.
How can Linny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
C'est bizarre que cet incident soit survenu pendant un spectacle.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
Huh? I just think that I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
C'est exactement ce que je pensais, en fait. Elle ne sait pas du tout ce qu'elle fait. Elle fait juste là pour faire le show, en fait. C'est elle, son principal atout, c'est littéralement d'être là pour la prestance. C'est tout. Il n'y a rien du tout. Prendre des décisions, nada.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
Et parce que c'est l'Archon, eh ben, tout le monde va prendre son side.
Murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people.
Oh boy.
But what excites me even
Elle se berce littéralement d'illusions.
Is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Linny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met.
Bah, je crois en l'innocence de Linny.
Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met. But with Linny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
Ok, ça va, j'ai compris.
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case?
De devenir son avocat, littéralement. Oui.
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Après avoir annoncé la date du procès, le public et tout le monde part.
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer?
No.
Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But, if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did.
Bah, tout simplement, le coupable en tant que tel a juste pris Cowell, l'a remplacé, a pris la femme à la place, l'a mis là-dedans, puis that's it.
Even a skilled and knowledgeable
N'importe qui l'aurait trouvé, mais de
magician
toute
like
façon.
myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Même un magicien aussi expérimenté que moi ne pourrait pas le faire en une seule minute. C'est que j'en ai fait, mais c'est ce qui s'est passé.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Oh my god, what the hell? What the... D'où sortent ces lunettes?
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh?
Surtout
Don't
weird.
worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
Oh boy.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence.
Ce qui est plutôt intéressant aussi, c'est le fait qu'on a eu 2 cinématiques back-à-back. C'est rare dans le jeu d'avoir 2 cinématiques qui se suivent en l'espace de 10 minutes.
Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Je ne vous décevrai pas.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Ah, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial.
Surtout quand ça vous concerne, vous.
'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it.
Ouais, ça fait mal.
But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
Mon Dieu, Paimon, enlève-moi ces lunettes, s'il te plaît.
While the investigation teams are still here, Detective Paimon is on the case.
Oh boy.
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see.
J'ai pas eu le temps de lire ce qui était écrit,
That
mais
Lady
bon.
Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
Huh? What do you mean?
Oh, il a la petite moustache.
Come with me and you'll see.
Esmond.
The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it.
Parfait. C'était la jeune femme qui devait y être, non?
This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence.
L'inverse peut être vrai.
Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
T'inquiète, je vais trouver. T'inquiète, mon grand. Oh! Vous pouvez utiliser le dossier d'affaires pour consulter l'état actuel de votre collecte de preuves et d'indices et trier les informations relatives à l'affaire en cours. Le dossier d'affaires vous permet également de voir... Ah bah littéralement, on joue vraiment les détectives sur ce coup-ci. Vous permet également de voir les preuves et les indices qui n'ont pas encore été découverts et de vous diriger vers les zones correspondantes pour les localiser. La capacité de discernement vous permet de trouver des preuves et des indices à examiner dans un certain rayon autour de vous, vous aidant ainsi à faire avancer votre progression globale. Rapport d'enquête des gendarmes. Selon les conclusions de l'enquête des gendarmes, le feu d'artifice déclenché juste avant la fin de la représentation a enflammé les cordes qui retenaient le réservoir d'eau, le faisant tomber et entraînant la mort de Cowell. Lenny semble être la personne la plus susceptible d'avoir utilisé un accessoire de magie comme arme du crime, mais la question est pourquoi Cowell? Et pourquoi la dame choisie parmi le public a-t-elle disparu? Tant de questions restent encore sans réponse. Le défunt est l'un des assistants de Lenny, nommé Cowell. Il avait la confiance de tous ses collègues. Son travail consistait à installer et inspecter les accessoires, ainsi qu'à aider pendant le spectacle et à garder la foule engagée. Ok. Chercher des indices dans l'opéra. C'est là où la boîte magique a été heurtée. Si Cowell ne se trouvait pas à l'intérieur, il aurait pu esquiver le réservoir d'eau. Utiliser la capacité de discernement. Ah. Vous pouvez consulter rapidement les dossiers. D'accord. La boîte magique cassée a été laissée sur la scène du crime après l'enquête des gendarmes. En la regardant, il semblerait que l'impact du réservoir d'eau fut très violent. Ah, la corde.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
Lenny ne s'est-il pas rendu compte du problème de sécurité qu'elle posait? Ou le savait-il pertinemment?
Why are you suddenly so serious, traveler?
Je regarde juste l'endroit où la corde s'est cassée.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
C'était inflammable, on dirait du coton flash.
with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait, why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes.
Corde spéciale. Cette corde servait à suspendre le réservoir d'eau. Elle s'est soudainement cassée lorsque les feux d'artifice ont été lancés sur scène. L'enquête a montré que la partie qui s'est rompue sur la corde était faite d'un matériau inflammable. Donc techniquement, elle n'était pas censée se briser. Parce qu'en même temps, le réservoir a littéralement tombé en une fraction de seconde. Ça a même pas pris une fraction de seconde avant que ça tombe. Ah, attendez un peu. Eh, Maurice. Parle-moi, Maurice.
What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Pourriez-vous nous en dire davantage à son sujet? Nous sommes les avocats de Linny et de Lynette.
Sure. It's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all.
Excusez-moi.
Matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
Merci pour les informations.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Information sur l'identité de la jeune femme. Halsey est la personne disparue. Peintre assez célèbre, elle est venue assister au spectacle de magie afin d'échapper à la pression de son travail. Aucun lien n'a été découvert entre elle et les membres de la troupe de Linny. Complètement aléatoire. Tous ces trucs ont expiré, évidemment. Ah, le divin de Tartaglia, ok. Et le livre.
Whoever the murderer was, they must have made preparations well beforehand. This rope was obviously tampered with.
Rapport d'enquête des gendarmes.
Whoever the murderer was, why would it be him? God, why would it be him?
Comme ça au hasard.
Gosh, no wonder the serial disappearances never got solved.
J'adore le petit icône de Paimon avec la moustache et les lunettes dans le coin. C'est assez hilarant. Okay. Du coup, ça veut dire qu'il nous manque un dernier indice. On pourrait parler à lui. Quentin.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt,
No.
but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
Non, la machine a probablement été trafiquée elle aussi avant que le spectacle commence.
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
Ok. Pas moyen d'avoir un...
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all.
Avoir une
The
information
machine
dessus.
picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
Pas exactement.
That
Hein.
much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Merci, pardon du dérangement.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Sélecteur aléatoire. Cet appareil a été utilisé lors du spectacle de magie pour choisir un membre chanceux du public. Cependant, les gendarmes ont constaté qu'il générait toujours le même nombre, peu importe la manière. De toute évidence, quelqu'un l'a trafiqué. Chercher des indices dans l'opéra. Ok. Donc là, du coup, il n'y a plus rien sur scène. Yep. Du coup, ça veut dire qu'il faut que j'aille vérifier dans le public. Ah, mais attendez, je peux aller voir la place de la... Ah, quoique. Cela ressemble à une boîte ordinaire, mais Linny est parvenu à s'y déplacer depuis la scène un instant pendant le spectacle. Comment a-t-il fait? Est-ce qu'il y a moyen de vérifier la place de la victime? Pas du tout. Ok. Du coup, on va vérifier... Rien pour le moment. Ah. Ok, donc c'est vraiment juste lui en fait. Isildur. C'est un peu comme un nom de Seigneur des Anneaux.
Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too. If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, all right?
Pourquoi?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, or something like that.
Okay.
And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
But wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
Dans ce cas, il se serait balancé quand même brièvement.
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
Bruit étrange pendant le spectacle. Pendant le tour de transposition, de nombreux membres du public ont entendu un bruit sourd. Là, ça va être de voir un peu autour, entrer. Ah! On a nos
He's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
Ok. Molly?
Lenny's still talking to the guards.
Ah, ok, d'accord. D'accord. Pour le moment, il n'y a rien ici. Est-ce qu'on peut sortir? Ouais, on peut sortir.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Oh, c'est la mafia.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No?
The truth?
And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Madame?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
Spina di Rosula.
Mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums. You name it. Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
My God.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
Ah, d'accord.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Il a une sacrée voix, lui, par contre.
Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Melus and the others are still used to my
Oula,
previous
l'éclairage.
title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No, no need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
D'accord.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rasula anyway.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
Vous enquêtez aussi?
That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time.
Oh.
Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Police secrète. Et non mafia. Ah ah, il y a nuance.
Really? We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Okay.
Marina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't
Ah
she?
ouais.
But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away.
Donc, ouais, non, c'est ça ce que je me disais en fait. Basically, Furina, littéralement, ne sait pas du tout ce qu'elle fait. Prend des décisions complètement hâtives. Il n'a aucune idée de l'impact que ça peut avoir sur le futur de sa nation. Et du coup, la seule personne qui l'aide un peu à balancer tout ça et à lui donner un semblant de ouais, tu peux avoir raison sur en allant dans cette direction, c'est Neuvillette.
Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels
Sauf que du coup,
charges.
elle ne prend pas ses propres décisions en tant que divinité de la région de Fontaine.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Du coup, c'est mauvais.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
Maintenant que vous le dites.
All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Okay.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Comme un opéra.
Well?
Pas toujours.
And why would that be?
Car dans ce cas, la vérité passe après le divertissement. Une affaire grave ne doit pas être traitée à la légère. Pour le coup, je suis... Non, la vérité passe après le divertissement. Je la trouve un peu bizarre, la première réponse, en fait. Une affaire grave ne doit pas être vraiment prise à la légère.
See, Silver and Melus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script,
Mais lui, vraiment, il a fumé un tas de clopes. Hein.
May be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Melus. Anyway, I like your answer. You pass with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant, sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
Je crois que tu as mal compris, Paimon. Tu lui donnes donc ton accord, Paimon?
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering
Il
the
me
truth.
fume avec son demoiselle.
You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense,
Oui, oui.
our goals are aligned.
Bien évidemment.
Have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Linny's tricks. Thanks!
Bon, retour à... Ah. Donnez-moi 2 secondes. Il y a peut-être quelque chose en haut? Pas du tout. Ok. Bon bah, c'est le dernier indice, je suppose. Tristan.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection.
Mais qu'est-ce que tu es, Tristan? Un mélange d'un chien avec un renard? Un fennec? Qu'est-ce que tu es?
So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
Et pendant le spectacle?
I doubt there was much opportunity then, either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
Les Mélusines.
It's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here.
Ce qui veut dire qu'elle est passée par une autre entrée. Un autre passage.
Thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
Personne n'a quitté l'opéra pendant le spectacle de magie et après l'incident, seuls ceux dont l'identité a été vérifiée par les gendarmes ont pu sortir.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about...
Désolé, Paimon.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower.
D'accord.
Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
J'aurais pensé qu'on serait les seuls à le voir.
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
Le dos de la porte est différente.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Ah, vous voulez dire, il y a une autre boîte à l'intérieur de celle-ci.
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway
Ah bah
under
voilà.
the magic box.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place.
Ce qui veut dire que la personne, le coupable, avait accès à cet endroit depuis le début.
The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Que s'est-il passé à la fin de votre tour alors?
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
Okay.
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Ah ouais, donc c'est Lynette qui est sortie de la boîte et non pas l'aîné.
And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
Non, non, celle qui était sortie pour genre faire comme elle, j'étais pas prêt. Ok. Vous avez vraiment pensé à tout.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would.
Ok, mais du coup, c'est bizarre. Si c'est elle qui était passée dans la boîte, déguisée en l'aîné, du coup, comment ça se fait qu'elle n'a pas vu la personne qui a switché la personne du public avec Cowell? C'est bizarre.
But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Lenny a donné un compte-rendu détaillé de la façon dont le tour est censé fonctionner, en utilisant une boîte à l'intérieur d'une autre L'idée consiste à transporter la boîte contenant le membre du public via un tunnel en dessous de la scène, alors que Lini utilise également ce tunnel pour passer de l'autre côté. Pendant ce temps, après avoir changé de tenue, Lynette doit occuper le public avec l'aide de son assistant. La boîte magique sur scène a un espace supplémentaire au fond dans lequel Lynette, dans les vêtements de Lini, est restée cachée. Elle aurait dû apparaître à la fin du tour pour faire croire que Lini avait pu se déplacer instantanément vers la boîte de l'autre côté. La boîte magique au centre des tribunes a un double fond et en dessous se trouve une entrée vers un tunnel souterrain. C'est ainsi que le spectateur chanceux était censé avoir été transporté sans que le public ne s'en aperçoive. Du coup, ça veut dire qu'il y a une autre entrée dans le tunnel. C'est ça que ça veut dire. Il faut une échelle pour remonter dans la boîte magique en haut. Le dispositif de contrôle du chariot, on dirait qu'il y a un mode automatique.
What's this? Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Lenny n'en a pas parlé tout à l'heure.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Une corde tombée au sol, un crochet en métal a été attaché à une des extrémités pour une raison inconnue. Ah. Il y a vraiment plein de trucs qui sont louches.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Ah bah bravo, bien vu. Belle déduction, Mélus. Bah bravo.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Pour un autre tour de magie.
Oh, Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from
Nope.
start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
De nombreux morceaux d'un vase brisé ont été retrouvés d'un côté du tunnel. Toute l'eau à l'intérieur a été renversée. À en juger par la distance, il semble peu probable qu'il ait été renversé par le chariot destiné à transporter la boîte magique. Une robe.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Lenny n'a pas parlé de changement de tenue en ce qui la concerne.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
Ces lunettes, elles ont littéralement changé.
This is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
Bah, enlève tes lunettes. Le manteau appartenant à Halsey, la dame qui a disparu, a été retrouvé dans le tunnel. La raison reste inconnue. Du coup, est-ce qu'elle a encore les... Eh, merde. Elle a les lunettes quand je me mets en pause. Ok. Examiner les rails. Sinon, si j'examine... Je peux examiner les autres alentours. Ok. Il faut une grande précision pour réussir ce numéro et les rails permettent au chariot de ne pas dévier de sa trajectoire. Ok, rien de bien pertinent de ce côté-ci. Toutes sortes d'accessoires de magie et de costumes ont été fourrés n'importe comment à l'intérieur. On a le chariot. Ah ah! Le chariot a été nécessaire pour transporter la boîte magique jusqu'à l'autre côté. Le meurtrier doit l'avoir utilisé pour réaliser son plan. Et du coup, voilà l'emplacement par où ils sont passés. Conduit d'aération.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Ouais.
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
À l'exception de celles qui ont servi à déplacer les boîtes magiques, Lini et Linel étaient dans les deux boîtes.
Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Le conduit d'aération du tunnel semble pouvoir permettre le passage d'une personne, à peine. Mais l'utiliser pour partir avec la dame disparue semble irréaliste. Ah, du coup, ils étaient deux, en fait. Retourner à la surface.
Just about done investigating down here.
Yes, let's head back up.
Ok.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
On dirait bien.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Ouais.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
L'oratrice.
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice.
Okay.
To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
Okay, c'est qui
This
l'oratrice?
also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Fascinant.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Ok, donc du coup, c'est même pas Furina qui littéralement met le verdict sur la table, en fait. C'est genre, pour une divinité, mais c'est surtout qu'elle est nouvelle, hein, donc elle remplace l'ancienne Archon Hydro au final. Donc elle connaît pas nécessairement tout le métier du truc non plus.
So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon never let call the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
Du coup, il va falloir chercher plus longtemps. Ah, pardon.
Whoa, there's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
No.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
Bon, c'est pas le moment de faire la fine bouche.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon.
Just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Suivons Mélus, demoiselle. Allons chercher les snacks. Enfin bref.
You're carrying a portable stove with you?
Ah.
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group.
C'est sûrement un truc commun aux membres de la spina di Rosula. Rosula. Les mouvements de Navia sont dignes d'une experte et les macarons ne tardent pas. Oh, les macarons! Oh! Oh, ils sont énormes! Mais alors là, si tu me vends des macarons de cette taille, mais je me régale! Oh la vache!
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
C'est parce que j'appelle mettre la main à la pâte.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try, fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would
Là,
you?
j'avoue que ça me donne le goût de... J'ai envie de sucre.
This is demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Là, j'ai vraiment envie de sucre à ce moment. Merci.
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed
Excusez-moi,
confines.
messieurs. Dames.
The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
Excusez-moi, je viens de m'empiffrer sur du chocolat à l'orange. Délicieux. À part les Gémeaux, il ne reste que la jeune femme disparue et l'assistant décédé.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
Il n'y a pas de troisième personne.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowell.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
Mais en savait-elle assez sur les ficelles du tour pour le faire?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
Excusez-moi, je dois aller chercher un autre truc. J'ai absolument faim là, c'est incroyable. Ok, là du coup je suis allé me chercher une barre de chocolat encore une fois. Et ouais, le chocolat mesdames et messieurs.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
Bon. Une barre de chocolat aéro avec un petit goût de crème glacée, crème à glace à la fraise. C'est pas grave, tu les as déjà mangés de toute façon. Tant pis. Et puis tout le monde sait que tu adores manger.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big
Et l'histoire
deal.
des macarons va venir avec l'enquête.
Set up the stove again, if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Oh, c'est pas la peine.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the two of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Sauf qu'on n'a aucun moyen d'innocenter la troupe. C'est un peu chaud quand même. Hein.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Il n'y a aucun motif apparent pour ce qui est arrivé à Cowell ou à Alcé. Mais après avoir parlé à Navia, la probabilité qu'une personne tierce soit impliquée semble également très faible.
Alright, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Bon.
Whoever the murderer was, they must have made preparations well beforehand. This rope was up. People needed to register and reserve a seat for the show. That, combined with this number selector, could allow you to pick a young lady instead of some old fogey. This is probably a prop, too. Oh, looks like it could hook onto a lot of things. Like the Traveler's fishing rod! This flower vase is probably a prop for the show. But it also could have been used in the crime. Paimon doesn't get this at all. You think about it for a bit, Traveler. Why would it be him? Gosh, we all heard that noise, didn't we? The performance would not have been visible from where the doors were guarded. If Paimon were on duty, she would have snuck back into the audience seating. Well, there was no chance Paimon could have seen that the box had 2 layers. And that's why only the 2 of them can perform this trick. There was no third person. And Paimon didn't eat more than 3 macarons either. Digging a tunnel just for a magic trick? Whew, that must have been a lot of work.
Mais du coup, il nous manque un
That
truc.
size wouldn't have been a problem for Paimon.
Ah. Du coup, il nous manque encore
Every journey has its final day.
3 trucs à vérifier en fait. Entrer dans le tunnel. Je veux quand même revérifier. Non, c'est pas ce que je voulais faire. Attendez, là du coup je suis plus du tout en... Il n'aurait pas pu avec la jeune femme. Ok. Mais c'est bizarre. C'est vraiment weird. Du coup, la victime se serait enfuie d'elle-même. Ça n'aurait aucun sens. À moins que le coupable... À moins que le coupable fait partie de la pièce de théâtre, basically.
The whole situation is so confusing.
Allons-y doucement.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else...
Ok. Donc déjà là, le bruit c'est relié au vase. Donc il y a eu techniquement il y a eu un fight. Donc il y a eu une confrontation entre deux personnes. Potentiellement Cowell. Cowell était en fight avec la victime. Mais du coup, attendez, oh boy.
Suspects Lenny and Lynette. At least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Aïe, 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 aïe.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, j'ai les oreilles qui font mal. Hein.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Vous verrez bien.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Lenny ne l'a pas entendu.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
J'imagine qu'elle représente la position de l'oratrice sur l'affaire.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
Non.
The House of the Hearth?
Le foyer de l'âtre. Wait, what?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Attendez. Ils viennent vraiment de dire qu'ils sont des fatouilles de base?
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose.
C'est mal me
This
connaître,
was
ma chère.
almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Lenny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Lenny et Linus font partie des fatouilles.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
Un magicien est capable de duper les autres. Étant donné que Lenny a réussi à nous cacher son identité jusque-là, cela pourrait faire partie d'un plan. Charles est à Fontaine, ainsi que d'autres membres de l'organisation. Ils mijotent sûrement quelque chose. J'ai déjà été victime de leur manigance, et là...
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Puis-je m'exprimer, votre honneur?
Granted.
Mon client m'a caché des informations importantes. Je ne peux pas procéder correctement à sa défense.
In that case, what is your request?
J'aimerais demander l'ajournement du procès.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Monsieur qu'elle est illuminée. Donc du coup, ça va être les informations qui vont être rajoutées par après. Ok. Oula, on n'est pas content là.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad!
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face.
Effectivement.
I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
Et qui nous dit que vous ne vous mentez pas?
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but...
Expliquez-nous l'autre problème d'abord. Où êtes-vous allé pendant le numéro?
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Okay.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Et qu'avez-vous trouvé?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice.
Oh, Vacher! La voix qui dit Vacher.
Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Ok.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Et qu'en est-il de Lynette? Pourquoi cherchez-vous à comprendre le fonctionnement de l'oratrice?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time.
Ouais, mais Lynette, là, moi je veux connaître la version de Lynette, moi.
It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Je crois en la vérité. Je vais assurer votre défense. La justice fera son travail.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two.
Ouais.
If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Watertight defense. C'est quoi, tu vas me faire un hydropompe, c'est ça? À vrai dire, nous disposons déjà des preuves dont nous avons besoin.
Huh?
Le procès va bientôt reprendre. Retournons dans la salle.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
L'aîné affirme qu'il s'est dirigé vers la salle contenant le noyau de l'oratrice après être entré dans le tunnel, et donc il n'a pas été témoin du crime, ni entendu le bruit sourd. L'aîné prétend avoir entendu une mystérieuse voix dans la salle qui contient le noyau de l'oratrice dans le sous-sol de l'opéra. Ce qui veut dire que la scène de crime s'est déjà déroulée avant même que l'aîné ne se retrouve dans le sous-sol. Du coup, ça veut dire que c'est que c'est elle en fait. C'est elle qui s'est retrouvée aux côtés du noyau. Personne d'autre. Mais du coup, Lynette, elle était où dans tout ça, hein? Là, c'est ça que je me pose comme question. Parce que pour moi, c'est vraiment le seul point que j'essaie de comprendre, en fait. C'est Lynette, elle était où à ce moment-là? Le bref ajournement...
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention...
Blah, blah,
At this
blah.
stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Objection! Oh! En vous basant sur le récit des événements du camp opposé, vous pouvez trouver les parties de leur déclaration qui ne tiennent pas la route. Ok, interesting. Là, ça sonne vraiment comme du Phoenix Wright, là. Utilisez les preuves et les indices que vous avez obtenus au cours de votre enquête sur l'incident pour réfuter toute série d'événements qui n'auraient pas de sens et les remplacer par de nouvelles déductions. Utilisez vos réfutations pour convaincre le public et obtenir le soutien de la population. L'oratrice affichera clairement ces changements. Lorsque vous trouverez et réfutez tout le contenu incorrect, vous pouvez terminer le cycle de réfutation et dévoiler la vérité.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel.
Ok. Action de l'aîné. Ok, il va dans le tunnel.
When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud.
Ok.
He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed. So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident.
Ouais, mais du coup, elle est où, hein?
And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Okay.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linny experienced, and what he saw.
Okay. Alright. Lenny, ok, cherchez des contradictions. Lenny est entré dans le tunnel. Au début du compte à rebours. Lenny a attaqué Halsey. Le bruit sourd provenait du combat de Lenny et Halsey. Mais Lenny a dissimulé la vérité en disant qu'il n'avait rien entendu. Du coup, déjà, ça c'est une contradiction. Lenny affirme qu'il s'est dirigé vers la salle contenant le noyau de l'oratrice après être entré dans le tunnel et donc il n'a pas été témoin du crime ni entendu le bruit sourd. Accès de l'opéra, non. Prétend avoir entendu une mystérieuse voix dans la salle. Bah, du coup, on va commencer avec ça, hein.
According to Lenny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Yep. Ok. Oula. Oh, doucement. Lenny a enlevé Halsey. Lenny a assommé Halsey avec le vase et a enlevé ses vêtements pour l'empêcher d'être identifié. Cependant, Lenny était-il vraiment dans le tunnel? Ok, cherchez des contradictions. Bruit étrange dans le spectacle. Ok. Lenny a dû être très déconcerté quand il les a vus. Lenny prétend avoir entendu une mystérieuse voix dans la salle qui contient le noyau de l'oratrice dans le sous-sol de l'opéra. Du coup, c'est elle. Ça serait Halsey qui aurait déjà tout manigancé depuis le début, en fait, vu que, techniquement, elle est portée disparue. Cowell est le seul à avoir été encore... Cowell était le seul à être dans les tunnels pour organiser l'échange de Lenny vers l'autre boîte, et Lynette se faire passer pour son frère dans la première boîte. Du coup, c'est elle qui a assommé Cowell et qui l'a installé dans la première boîte. Pour moi, ça me semble toute logique que ce soit ça, en fait. Donc du coup, le truc de la voix.
Lenny went to the room that contains the oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Ok. Lenny a assommé Cowell. Cowell a surpris Lenny, alors ce dernier l'a assommé avec le vase, entraînant la mort de la victime. Les preuves indiquent que lorsque Lenny est revenu, l'accident s'était déjà produit et tout ce que Lenny a vu était... Et c'est impossible. Cowell est décédé au moment de l'impact ici, en fait. Personne n'a quitté l'opéra pendant le spectacle de la magie et après l'incident, seuls sont dont l'identité a été vérifiée par les gendarmes et ont pu sortir. Les vêtements d'Halsey, la fille disparue, ont été laissés dans le tunnel pour une raison inconnue. Lenny a dû être très déconcerté.
Lenny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Non, c'est ça.
Attention!
Ah, let's go!
This Detective Paimon has something to say!
Parlez, Paimon. Parlez donc.
When the countdown started, Lenny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Et voilà, mesdames et messieurs. Réfutation réussie. Alors, t'as quelque chose à dire?
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Oh, wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
Exactement. J'estime aussi que le raisonnement de la partie adverse comporte des failles.
My reasoning?
L'équipement présent sur scène a été saboté à l'avance. Cependant, vous affirmez que Cowell a croisé Lenny par hasard.
If that's the case, entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Mm-hmm.
They have a point.
That's right, you tell them! And that's why they're partners of mine. Managed to turn things around. Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Vous vous souvenez de la façon dont vous avez contesté l'alibi de Linny?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Je m'en servirai comme arme. Je m'en servirai comme indice critique. Oula, ça par contre c'est un peu... Je m'en servirai comme arme. Je m'en servirai comme indice critique. Je vais m'en servir comme arme, comme indice critique. Choisissez la preuve. Oh! Accès de l'opéra. Bruit étrange pendant le spectacle. Pendant le tour de transposition, de nombreux membres du public ont entendu un bruit sourd.
That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played.
Wow.
To think you'd use such logic.
Oh.
Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Le coupable est... Sélectionnez une icône en forme d'engrenage dans le menu pour voir les questions correspondantes à l'affaire. Sélectionnez les réponses et remplissez tous les engrenages vides pour vérifier l'exactitude de votre déduction. En cas d'erreur, vous devez faire une autre sélection parmi les options restantes. Une fois que vous avez répondu correctement à toutes les questions, vous pourrez compléter la chaîne logique. Ok. Le rapport d'enquête des gendarmes indique que les feux d'artifice tirés vers la fin du spectacle se sont enflammés et ont brûlé les cordes suspendues, le réservoir. La corde suspendant le réservoir d'eau au-dessus de la scène. Cela fait tomber le réservoir et tuer Cowell dans la boîte en dessous. Si Linny n'est plus suspecté, seuls les autres membres de la troupe auraient pu trafiquer les accessoires. Linny a donné un compte-rendu détaillé de la façon dont le tour est censé fonctionner. En utilisant une boîte à l'intérieur d'une autre, l'idée consiste à transporter la boîte contenant le membre du public via un tunnel en dessous de la scène, alors que Linny utilise également ce tunnel pour passer de l'autre côté. Ce qui est logique. Après avoir changé de tenue, Lynette doit occuper le public avec l'aide de son assistant. Le manteau appartenant à Halsey, la dame qui a disparu, a été retrouvé dans le tunnel. La raison reste inconnue. Sélectionnez un indice pour voir les informations détaillées. On va commencer par lui.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Ouais.
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility?
Troisième personne, ça m'étonnerait par contre. Qui était la seule personne qui aurait pu commettre le crime? Ok. Sélectionnez l'indice.
Halsey is the missing person.
Ok. Qui était la seule personne qui aurait pu commettre le crime? Wow, attendez une minute, j'essaie de me rappeler. On va y aller pour cet indice en fait.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Ce serait la seule personne qui était présente en fait. Yep.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious?
Yep.
The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Ok, voyons voir. Plan de Cowell et situation dans le tunnel. Comment a-t-on pu prédire que Linny serait incapable d'interférer avec le crime? Donc déjà là,
The deceased's name is...
ça, déjà important. Le fait que Linny... Comment prouver qu'il y a eu une altercation dans le tunnel?
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
Ok, on pourrait y aller avec ça.
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal.
Ok. Où est passé Halsey?
The sound we heard may have...
Qui est actuellement le principal suspect?
The sound we heard may have...
Wow, wait a minute. Non, attendez un peu.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment.
Ok, attendez un peu.
The deceased's name is...
Comment a-t-on pu prédire que Linny serait incapable d'interférer avec le crime? Donc ça va avec le fait qu'il... Non, ça va avec ce que Linny a dit précédemment. Du coup, ça marche. Comment prouver qu'il y a eu une altération dans le tunnel? C'est le bruit. Qui est actuellement le principal suspect? C'est Cowell. Du coup, où est passé Halsey?
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take... Linny was not in the tunnel at the...
Comment a-t-on pu prédire que Linny serait capable d'interférer?
It would have been tough for both people to fit in. Linny was not in the tunnel at... The deceased's name is Cowell. The deceased's name is... The sound we heard may have come from a clash.
Comment prouver qu'il y a eu une interaction dans le tunnel?
Linny was not in the tunnel at that...
Où est passé Halsey?
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear...
Sélectionne l'indice. Déduction incorrecte. Ok. Ah.
No one entered or left...
Le défunt est l'un des assistants de Linny, nommé Cowell. Il avait la confiance de tous ses collègues. Son travail consistait à installer et à inspecter les accessoires, ainsi qu'à aider pendant le spectacle et à garder la foule engagée. Lenny affirme qu'il s'est dirigé vers la salle contenant le noyau de l'oratrice après s'être entendu dans le tunnel. Cowell devait savoir à l'avance que Lenny partirait et il a peut-être ainsi jugé qu'il avait suffisamment de temps pour commettre le crime. Pendant le tour de transposition, de nombreux membres du public ont entendu un bruit. Non, c'est pas ce que je voulais.
It would have been tough for both people to fit.
Du coup, Halsey, elle est partie dans le tunnel. Non? Donc il nous reste que
No one entered or...
aucun accès. Le coupable connaissait... Ah d'accord. Attendez, j'ai pas eu le temps de vérifier. Ok, s'ils l'ont fait abstraction de la façon dont il est décédé, Cowell avait tous les moyens à sa disposition pour commettre le crime. Le bruit pendant le spectacle aurait pu être celui de l'altercation qu'il a eue avec Halsey. Lenny était absent du tunnel pendant 1 minute. Cowell aurait eu assez de temps pour faire sortir Halsey de la boîte dans les tribunes. Mais les gendarmes ont affirmé que personne n'était entré ni sorti de l'opéra. Il n'aurait pas pu s'échapper même s'il avait dû la livrer quelque part. Une sortie par la boîte magique aurait été remarquée par le public à coup sûr.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Où Halsey est-elle passée?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Ah, de la magie s'échapper du réservoir d'eau. Et si c'était l'eau?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Objection! Attendez.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
Okay.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Ça, on sait déjà pas mal tout ça. Du coup, le vase.
The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
Ok. Tu peux m'expliquer le vase? Qu'est-ce qu'il a à voir?
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped.
Ah.
Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind.
C'est l'eau.
If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
Je demande l'autorisation d'examiner les effets personnels de Cowell. Nous pourrions y trouver quelque chose.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Lenny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
Après un certain temps, un gendarme revient avec des nouvelles.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Oh.
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
Whoa.
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Eau de la mer primordiale. Le liquide que les gendarmes ont trouvé dans les affaires de Cowell semble avoir la capacité de dissoudre les fontainois dans l'eau. Qui est actuellement le principal suspect? Déjà là. On revient à Cowell. Quel objet le coupable a-t-il utilisé pour contrôler le moment de la dissolution? Déjà là. Qu'est-ce que le coupable a utilisé pour dissoudre Alice? Ah bah, je me suis trompé. Excusez-moi. Quel objet le coupable a-t-il utilisé pour contrôler le moment de la dissolution?
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this?
Okay.
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Peut-être l'intérieur de la boîte, peut-être. Qu'est-ce que le coupable a utilisé pour cacher le mécanisme derrière le crime? Oh, wait a minute. Bah voyons. Ben déjà là, en fait, déjà, celui-là, je suis pas sûr. Quel objet le coupable a-t-il utilisé pour contrôler le moment de la dissolution? Du coup, ça doit être la Magic Box. Alors. Ouais, non, c'est ça. Ça doit être ça. Qu'est-ce que le coupable a utilisé pour cacher le mécanisme derrière le crime? Bah, ceci, vu que ça faisait pas partie... Vu que techniquement, ça faisait pas partie du stuff des jumeaux.
The water from the Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
Ah, pas du tout. Ah, ces deux-là sont mauvais. Ah, à moins que je les ai inversés. Ou alors...
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by...
Non, attends. Quel objet le coupable a-t-il utilisé pour contrôler le moment de la dissolution?
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this? The rope that held the water...
Je me trompe peut-être. Non, je me suis encore trompé. Attends, tu veux dire... Hein? Qu'est-ce que le coupable a utilisé pour cacher le mécanisme derrière le crime? Ah, donc c'est un de ces deux objets-là, en fait. Bon, bah, du coup... Voilà. En dessous, c'est la... Ok, je les avais juste pas bien placés, en fait.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
Okay.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
Bon.
What? That can't be.
On veut faire passer le chapeau maintenant.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Commence à réfuter événements dans le...
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at
Okay.
all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowell then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Lenny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization.
Là, vraiment, là, c'est une attaque personnelle ce que tu fais, là. Le fait que tu dises que... Le fait que tu mettes ses origines dans une scène de crime n'a aucun rapport. Preuve qu'elle ne sait absolument rien du tout.
Am I right, Mr. Lenny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Nope. Yes.
No. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Let's go, Navia.
This, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes.
Oh, let's go.
Do the honors, Mr. Lenny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila.
Oh.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry.
C'est ce que je pensais aussi.
I'm the one who killed Cowell. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Lenny's show was going to be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Ah, c'est elle.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief.
C'était
Lily
elle.
even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee, but then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
Probablement on a affaire à une pro. C'est un jeu d'enfant pour une voleuse professionnelle.
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really,
Ouais,
I swear it.
quelqu'un l'a
Had I
saboté
known that,
avant
I
ça.
wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Ouais, c'est l'heure de contester le raisonnement de l'archon hydro.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lily-Ann's perspective.
Alright, c'est à notre tour. Ok. Ok, donc ça on n'a pas besoin de le toucher. Ah, c'est dissoute, donc c'est pas réel. Corde, crochet en métal est attaché à l'une de ses extrémités, ça sert à rien. Sélecteur aléatoire. Bruit étrange pendant le spectacle.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lily-Ann's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Discorde entre Lenny et Cowell. C'était pas Lenny et Cowell, mais Cowell et elle.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but it was smashed during the struggle between Lily-Ann and Cowell.
Du coup, Cowell qui a été assommé. Changement des vêtements pour passer inaperçu.
Lily-Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
There you go.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lily-Ann panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lily-Ann had not dissolved. He did not know that Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lily-Ann back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lily-Ann came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance
Là, du coup, c'est ça, ça conclut le fait que ce soit elle qui l'ait assommé, qui l'ait mis dans la boîte, mais ça n'explique pas comment est-ce que la corde inflammable s'est brisée en un éclair et a fini par tomber sur la boîte et a tué Cowell. Ça, c'est le truc qui est pas encore expliqué.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Et voilà.
Lady Farina, Do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
On essaie de s'enfuir.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow, look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved.
Okay.
He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
Bravo!
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
Ouh. Et le verdict?
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Ne vous réjouissons pas trop vite.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. Huh? How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Mm-hmm.
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes?
Mm-hmm. Oops.
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Oh. Il s'est transformé en eau. Ouais, t'as parlé beaucoup trop.
He can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
Et je pense savoir qui est derrière tout ça.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Oula. Mais d'après moi, je pense savoir qui est derrière toute cette mascarade, comme on le dirait. Hein. Je me souviens plus de son nom.
We're just going back now?
Mais je sais qu'elle fait partie des Harbingers des Fatui, en fait. Je me souviens vraiment plus de son nom, par contre. Le problème est résolu pour l'instant.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Mm-hmm.
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
Je n'aime pas voir quelqu'un être accusé injustement.
I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
Arlecchino. Attendez, c'est pas le petit vieux? Arlecchino, c'est bel et bien le petit vieux, hein? Non. Non, je me trompe. Je me suis trompé. Arlecchino, c'est bel et bien elle, en fait. C'est elle qui est derrière tout ça.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
Huh?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering... Would you mind hearing a story?
Oui.
It's about my past.
Absolument.
Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
Des fois, il y en a qui préfèrent vivre plus dans la rue que d'être avec les aristocrates.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was.
Ouais.
After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Et après?
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
Whoa.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
Ugh.
Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
Arlecchino veut mettre la main sur le Gnosis, c'est ça?
She has her own plans.
Okay.
She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
Interesting.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
So, j'ai quand même du mal à croire pour une Harbinger d'être bon, d'être une bonne personne en fait, mais ça peut être possible en fait. Bah, déjà là, Child en quelque sorte est déjà une exception à la règle. Donc pourquoi pas un autre Harbinger à ce moment-là?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis.
Okay.
Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
Du coup, c'est soit qu'elle est responsable du fait que les gens se dissouent en eau, soit qu'elle combat vraiment ce genre de problème, en fait. C'est au choix.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
Pardon, mais je ne peux toujours pas vous faire complètement confiance.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Bien sûr. Oh, ça me fait mal.
Bye, Linny.
Ça me fait mal. De partir comme ça, de laisser comme ça en plan. C'est triste. Mensonge dans l'ombre des projecteurs. Quitter l'opéra. Est-ce qu'ils sont toujours là? Non? Bon ben... Il est temps de partir, mesdames et messieurs. Je suppose qu'on va revoir... Eh ouais, c'est ce que je me disais aussi.
Hey there. What was
Hey
with the
there.
disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so too?
Eh bien, Pardon, Navia.
What's wrong, my dear partner?
Je voulais simplement défendre l'inné à tout à l'heure. Je ne souhaitais pas spécialement enquêter sur les disparitions en série.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow
Ouais,
now.
mais on va encore se retrouver dans le problème et tout. On n'aura pas le choix.
I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Well, sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Bah ouais.
Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Bah c'est parti, let's go.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal!
Prélude de blancheur et de noirceur. Quête terminée. Rendez-vous à l'atelier de forge. Rendez-vous à l'hôtel de bord. Oh well. Et bah du coup, mesdames et messieurs, ce fut un énorme chapitre dans tout ça. Et on a droit à un vœu. Et du coup, on a déjà le début de l'acte 2. Bon. Juste un petit peu plus longtemps ne peut pas faire de mal, hein. Après tout. Bon, allez. Ah, attendez. Suite cryolienne. Hommage à l'Institut de recherche de Fontaine se divise en 2 pièces. Je suis curieux. Je veux quand même aller voir. Juste faire un petit tour. Ah, ça doit être lui en fait. Maillardet. Ouais. Oh, mais est-ce qu'ils sont magnifiques. Mais regardez-les danser. Ah, ils sont magnifiques en vrai. Si je m'approche, juste par curiosité. Aucune attaque. Oh, excusez-moi. Mais là, du coup, j'ai pas envie de les combattre, en fait. Ils sont... En fait, c'est littéralement La Belle et la Bête, en fait. C'est une référence à La Belle et la Bête. Ah, c'est tellement classe. C'est tellement cool, en vrai. Bah, au moins, on aura vu ça, hein. Et là, pour le coup... On va aller à l'hôtel. On peut faire durer le plaisir un petit peu, hein. On peut en profiter encore un petit peu.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
Ah, in that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People
of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like.
Oh
If
mon
the
dieu, ça a
food's
l'air
good,
tellement
I'll
bon.
make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Bon, elle mérite d'être célébrée, c'était un plaisir de collaborer avec vous.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because
Voilà,
this was
les
such
petits
a
macarons, les
preposterous notion
cupcakes et tout.
that the investigation could never really
Oh,
move
les
forward
croissants!
before.
Il y a des croissants!
If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through. Where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's alright. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal. So, I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
On voulait poser des questions à l'Archon Hydro, mais nous n'avons pas eu l'occasion.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways?
Évidemment.
Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you
Oh, désolé.
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
Alright, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then, wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem.
Excusez-moi, excusez-moi.
I overlooked that part.
J'ai accroché le
I
bouton.
was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
Vous appelez ça un détail?
Alright, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Connaît-elle vraiment la honte? C'est déjà une bonne question, ça.
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
Déjà, qu'est-ce qu'il faisait du côté de Paimon?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Ma boisson aussi.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
Toujours essayer de marcher. Oh là, si Paimon se met à marcher, je deviens fou. Je deviens fou. Tu peux toujours voler moins haut.
Nah, that would be so normal. You know, like you.
Ah ouais.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Ce repas a dû lui coûter un bras, merci Paimon.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Ah, eh ben... Ah, c'est le début de l'acte... du chapitre 4, acte 2. Bien, mesdames et messieurs, pour le moment, je crois qu'on va s'arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. Du moins pour le moment. Du coup, mesdames et messieurs, cet épisode aura été... ça aura été énorme en contenu, évidemment. Un cas de Phoenix Wright. Allez, let's go. Bah, mesdames et messieurs, ce fut une expérience des plus sophistiquées. Honnêtement, c'était plutôt cool d'avoir un événement du style qui se rapproche d'un cas de procès, en fait. Réunir les éléments. Bon, évidemment, ça aurait été pas marrant d'un côté si tu rassembles les éléments de manière complètement fausse, bah du coup tu rates la mission, donc tu recommences à un certain point, mais bon, ça aurait rajouté un peu de piquant, puis ça aurait peut-être mis un peu plus de défi dans le mini-jeu au final. Mais bon, on peut pas toujours avoir tout ce qu'on veut. Mais sur ce, mesdames et messieurs, c'est ici que je vous laisse pour le moment. J'espère que ça vous aura plu, mesdames et messieurs. Du coup, on se retrouve très bientôt pour la suite des aventures à Fontaine. Et donc, du coup, le prochain acte qu'on va suivre sera potentiellement les réponses qu'on va avoir auprès de l'Archon Hydro. Du coup, je vous dis à très bientôt pour une prochaine vidéo sur Genshin Impact, mesdames et messieurs. C'était GeekYoshii pour vous servir. À la prochaine tout le monde. Ciao, ciao.